Hi team, you know what it is, we are back with another dose of that high strength spiritual bleach to burn through those persistent and common spiritual blockages on our path to awakening and enlightenment. You join me on a very frosty morning here. It is ice cold, sub-zero temperatures, and this is what happens in the UK. As temperatures drop, you forget that your car freezes over in winter. It's already starting to melt at the back there, but you see, visibility isn't exactly superb right now. So, I have to defrost the car. You get all the heating on. I think I've got all the settings right. Yep. And you just have to wait for your car to heat up to melt the ice, because I can't drive in an ice cube, can I? I thought, why not use this period of time, transmute it from a period of time where usually I'd just be sat here twiddling my thumbs waiting for the car to defrost. Why not transmute this into a productive and positive time and get some value out of it, deliver another little bit of spiritual bleach right here. Often in these spiritual bleach videos, I say we're going to be burning through a spiritual blockage, but then all I really do is just explain something about the metaphysics of awakening, or deliver a certain metaphor or analogy that proves quite useful, proves quite, it just illustrates something powerful and significant about the infinite universal consciousness model, the non-dual model, non-duality, Advaita Vedanta. But today's spiritual bleach, we are actually going to burn through one of the blockages that I think happens perhaps a bit further down the line. So maybe people have had a glimpse of awakening, Kensho, and they've started the process of awakening, but then as the years go on, there's just a sense of, why hasn't the full thing happened? When does the full, complete, total enlightenment happen? And there's just a kind of a blockage there, and I just wanted to give a perspective on that, and just to ensure, because what happens, we get so fixated on something, it kind of becomes, we get fixated on the spiritual path, and that becomes a blockage in itself. And often, especially if you've been doing this for a long time, the discipline, the practice, or the tradition itself becomes the blockage, and that it becomes another thing that we have to let go of. Sometimes it's referred to as the thorn that removes the thorn. So if you ever get, if you're out hiking or something through brambles and you get a thorn in your skin, it's best if you can actually get a thorn just like it. That's going to help you to pull that thorn out a lot quicker. So what I wanted to talk about today was the fact that the dream won't let you wake up, which might sound quite demoralizing, or almost like I'm telling people to just give up on their spiritual path. But if we delve into this a little deeper, we can see that actually it's very encouraging, it's very heartening. The fact that your individual body-mind, your ego, your character can't seem to wake up from the illusion is not a bug. It's not a sign you're doing something wrong. It's actually something that's inherent to the very nature of the illusion itself. So to illustrate this, I'm going to use the metaphor of the dream. I will use that as the analogy for awakening today. Sometimes, it's referred to this, the dreamed world, sometimes referred to as the Maya, the illusion, the matrix, samsara, three-dimensional reality. It's referred to as so many different things. You know the world that I'm speaking of. This one, the one that we experience, right? I'm going to use the analogy, the metaphor of a dream. Now, it's crucial to realize that when you wake up from a dream, it's not the dreamed character that wakes up. So, you've had the experience of dreaming, you've been in a dream, and whilst you were in that dream, you were thoroughly convinced that you were playing the character of that individual during the dream. Maybe it was yourself that you were in the dream, but you were absolutely convinced that this was a real thing that was happening. These are real events, very vivid, very intense, lots going on, and you believed that you were the character that was playing out all of these events. When you wake up from that dream, what happens to that character? It's not like it's the character that wakes up. It's not the individual that was in the dream that suddenly wakes up. Something different happens. The dreamer realizes that they were dreaming. That's what happens when you wake up from a dream. The dreamer is what wakes up. But the character in the dream can't wake up. Why is that? Because the moment the character in the dream wakes up, there's no longer a dream. So I wanted to use that as a metaphor to highlight that what can happen on this spiritual path is that what you're trying to do is get the character to wake up from the dream. And we don't realize that what we're doing is actually perpetuating the dream by doing that. Because we are still under the delusion that the dreamed character is real, is a real, solid, tangible thing. And we're trying to get that character to wake up from the dream. It can't happen. It doesn't work like that. So if you find yourself frustrated and stuck on the spiritual path, like, why can't I wake up? Why? I've been doing this for so long. It happens all the time. I've been doing this for 10 years. I've been practicing hard for 10 years, and although I get glimpses, although I have brief moments of realization, although there are long periods of time even where I feel very awake, it's never the full thing. I never quite get that full, total, permanent enlightenment that I hear about, that I read about, that I see about. It never quite happens. Well, I would just invite you to just ensure that your perspective on things is still accurate. Because just double check, and this is why it's called like getting the cosmic joke, essentially, because you realize, okay, right. I thought I was waking up, but really it was the character in the dream that was having these brief moments of awake, these brief glimpses that, oh, hang on, this might not be real after all, but then continuing to believe in the validity and the reality of the dreamed world. So don't be disheartened, don't be frustrated, and certainly don't fall into the trap of self-blaming and self-shaming about like, well, I must just be not a worthy spiritual seeker, or I just haven't found the right teaching, or I'm not doing it right. We don't have to do any of that. You can let go of that. Let go of that, because that's just something the character is doing. Let go of that. And realize that the Maya, the dreamed world, is a closed system. It's a closed loop. That the dream itself, it cannot... No character in the dream can be awakened. It's not the character that awakens. It's consciousness remembering itself. It's Brahman remembering itself. That's the awakening. But the character in the dream, the body-mind that you sort of see and perceive, that still moves about in the dream, that never actually fully wakes up. Because here's the other thing. When you wake up from a dream, what happens to the dream? What happens to the world in the dream? It's not like when you wake up from a dream, you leave a real place, right? It's not like the events in the dream are continuing. but you, the character, has simply vanished and sort of stepped out of it, but the events in the dream are continuing. That's not how it works. When you wake up from a dream, the whole thing vanishes. And that's what we're trying to make happen. So my basically, to distill this down, because look, we're melted here. We're getting there. Look, let's see. I think we're there. I think hopefully that'll come up nice and clear. Happy days. There we go, and the front screen as well. Easy, tiger. Anyway, so what I would invite you to realise is that the dream itself is what will vanish upon awakening. So you can, if you're frustrated, but realise that you're trying to get a dreamed character to awaken. It's like a character in a movie, sorry to mix my metaphors, but a character in a movie cannot ever realise that it's a character in a movie. Even if it appears to, and this is what happens quite often. You do get, like Deadpool or characters like it, sometimes the Joker does it. You know when the character does what's known as breaking the fourth wall and starts talking to the audience? It creates the illusion that the character has realised they're in a movie. But that's also an illusion. That too is an illusion. Right? And this is, we're in the business of baking noodles. We are baking noodles right now. Okay? This will bake your noodle. I make no apologies for that. This is mind-boggling, and it has to be. Because ultimately we do need to fully break the mind. We've had enough of the mind, it's not helping us. The character that breaks the fourth wall in the movie might appear to realise that they're a character, right? But that's not actually happening. That can't actually happen because they're just a character. And similarly, in a dream, even if the dreamed character realizes that it's dreaming, it still remains a character until you wake up. Upon waking up, the whole thing comes to an end. The whole thing. The dreamed character, the dreamed world, the whole thing. It's done. It's over. You might think, but then, so what do I wake up into? You wake up into realizing that the illusion isn't there either. Ajatavada. And at a certain point, we have to stop trying to rationalize that, make it logical, ask questions like, yeah, but then what is all this? What is this I can see? Forget all of that and just go straight to the end. Do it now. Do it now. Save yourself another 10 years of seeking and searching, and just, even the illusion isn't there. Even the dream isn't there. It's not. It's not real. It's not even there. Ajatavada, no birth, no change, no death. It's not even there. It's not real, none of it. And it never was, and it never has been. There is no you, there is no spiritual seeking, there is no spiritual path. It was all an illusion, the whole thing. A story this whole time. You might think, well, what's the experience then like when I wake up? There's no experience either. Experience is an illusion too. There's no such thing as experience. So, just to like, because that's going to be like too much to kind of, that will bake a noodle or two, but the best way I can think to describe it is that experience needs consciousness in order to happen, but consciousness does not need experience in order to be consciousness. It's about as clear as I can put it. I can't make it any clearer. So if you're finding that you're not quite able to step out of this dreamed world, and you've been doing it, you're frustrated because you've been doing it for a long time, this is good. The frustration leads you to this point, which is the point where you just really let go of the whole shooting match, the whole thing. Unplug from the matrix, we are done. I'm not following this any further. It's over. And realize that the illusion has built into it. It's a closed loop, it's a closed system. And if you as the character can't wake up, it's not because you're doing anything wrong, it's because that's how the illusion works. The illusion can only be experienced, the dream can only be experienced from the perspective of a dreamed character. So it's inherent, it's a feature of the dream, a feature of the game, a feature of the play. You couldn't have a play without any characters, it would just be an empty stage, right? The player on the stage, the character on the stage, upon waking up realizes that they're an actor. That's what happens. And that's where the play has to end. Anyway, it looks like we're there, team. It looks like we've got, let's just see if they're setting yet. Nice clear windscreen, nice clear, beautiful, bright, sunny day. It looks like we are off. Rock and roll. Time to get moving. Drive safe out there, team, because it is icy today. Icy. Not that you might not be watching this in England this morning, so I don't know why I'm saying that, but still, it's icy out there. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe on the way out, and channel memberships are, I believe, down here or down there. Channel memberships are available. If you want to really wake up from this matrix, you want to be doing some Advaita meditations. Everything I've just discussed there today, we can actually do as a meditation in some of my Advaita meditations, which are available in the members only area on this channel. And channel memberships really help to support this channel. The more memberships I can get in, the more time, effort and energy I can put into this channel, because it makes it a more viable use of my dreamed time. So I'm going to go and enjoy this dreamed world right now, but from the perspective of pure, unmixed, unmanifest consciousness. And I'm going to have an absolute blast doing it. Thank you so much for watching, team. Appreciate every single one of you. I hope some of that's been useful today. I'm sure we're going to have some very interesting discussions and comments on this one today. So yeah, let's go. Keep it coming. It's good stuff. Take care, be well, and stay present.